Hi, Justin Moore, General Manager of George Moore Chevrolet, out here on Bay Street in downtown Jacksonville with Chef Shelly at the new Sweet Spot and Urban Lounge. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm wonderful.
Good,
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
How'd we end up here?
Oh gosh, it's been a long journey. It's been a long journey. We started out this business in 2013. I started 11, 12, 13, that I can remember it. And we've done a couple of One Sparks. And last year, during the pandemic, we opened our first brick and mortar, which is kind of like a tester brick and mortar. And somebody reminded me that when we started One Spark and talking about the whole concept, that I said we were going to be downtown, and now here we are. I had a media team, and they were posting on Facebook, Instagram, and I would take pictures of the different things that I made, and I would send them over to her, and then she would post them, and then people would come in, or they'd call, or they send me a message on Facebook, I'm gonna come by, I'll be out in the parking lot, and we would take it out to them and things like that. So the whole, we were, social distancing as much as we could and mask wearing. It's a little difficult. Our staff, we employ people with special needs. So putting the mask on our face for some of our staff is a little difficult. So, we had to put those signs up and explain to people, this is what's going on. Be patient with us as we're trying to, get this. But it was a lot of, okay, they would come put their stuff on the counter, staff would stand back, and then staff would come forward, people would stand back.
Where are you finding the special needs help, the talent?
We have them vetted through other agencies.
Okay.
So we started off with Pine Castle. We helped install a garden on their property. So they're very near and dear to us. And last year they had someone for us, but then the pandemic happened, so we weren't able to follow through on that. There's the ARC. There's the North Florida School of Special Education. There's the Down Syndrome Association of Jacksonville. And so, now that the pandemic has happened, things are starting to open back up again. We hope to get back in with those agencies and talk with them. As well as my husband has a nonprofit called Dare to Hire Different. So he's looking for businesses that want to employ people with special needs so that he can get them. Because we found out they graduate with a certificate of completion, and then they can't go to trade school, they can't go to college, they can't even join the military. So they have a thing where they graduate, they can go to school up until they're 22, and then they graduate from school to the couch. Because where else are they gonna go? They can't further in education, and there's a lot of employers that won't hire.
I was hoping that there was a connection to the husbands.
Yeah. That's how we got Anthony. That's how we got Anthony. We just, it's a great thing. He's a special education teacher, so he sees this firsthand. Because that's what they want. Some of them don't know what's going to happen with their kids, and they're not sure. And and I hate to see my uncle had Down syndrome, and as a child, when we would go to Detroit to visit him, and it's terrible to say. I mean, I love my uncle, but I didn't want to go visit him because he was in an institution. Back then, my grandmother took care of him as best she could, and till he just got too big. And I said, it's crazy, because if they'd just given them a chance or given them something to do, but they sat around and sat in wheelchairs and just lined up in the hallways, and it was just miserable. And I think nobody should live like that. We all have things that we do better than other people, and I just wonder what his special talent was. I mentioned to my daughter a lot, we would, last year we spent a lot of time watching YouTube videos on how they make gum paste flowers. And gum paste is similar to an edible Play-Doh. And you can just sit there and make them and then let them dry and harden and use them later for decorating on cakes or cupcakes. And I said, we should just do this one day while we're sitting here. Well, a friend mentioned that there was somebody at the ARC who's just really good sitting with Play-Doh. And they're nonverbal, but they can sit there and work with their hands. And I said, wow, I'd hire them. I said, because I don't want to do that. That's, out of my realm of things that I want to do. So, and that's just it. It just takes time.
So when did you open last year?
Last year we opened February 7th of 2020 was our grand opening day. And, a month later, everything shut down.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that pain.
Now, we stayed open because we were food, so we were a necessity. We stayed open. And watched a lot of television, and
So what kind of food?
oh, we do all kinds of. We're a scratch bakery, which means we don't use any preservatives. Nothing I can't pronounce goes into the product, and we do pies and cakes and cookies, and we teach classes. I do a lot of canning. We rescue food from food banks. They get too much food and they can't hold it, and they'll call me. I'll come pick it up. We turn it into products. So we've made over 150 flavors of jams and jellies. We make pickles. We make soups. We make different kinds of sauces. We do a lot of things.
So, when did you learn how to do this?
Watching my grandmother, and I grew up in California. 10 years working social services, and after a while of working social services, you know, it kind of tugs on your heartstrings, you know. And I moved out here to Florida with my husband, and could not get a job. So my son said, "Why don't you go back into baking?" And I said, "Okay, I love to bake." So we started baking. We did things like went and picked blueberries. Then I made blueberry jam because you have too many blueberries. And then we started selling at the farmer's market. And next thing I knew, the jams and jellies took off like wildfire. It was crazy.
Now, when you started doing those, is that when you came up with the name Sweet Spot?
Yeah, we came up with Sweet Spot. My husband's a mobile DJ as well, and he likes playing jazz and urban music. So I said, I always imagine people sit there and go, "Oh, that's sweet," you know. So then we put Sweet Spot together, and we have Sweet Spot and Urban Lounge. So when you come in the evening, you may be able to get like rum and coke ice cream with your chocolate cake. You may be able to get soufflés. And then in the daytime, you'll have breakfast sandwiches, you'll have soup, salad sandwiches. Pretty much it depends on what's going on. You know, if it's kind of, you know, we might eke over into a dinner kind of a situation. You know, if somebody comes in and, you know, I decide, hey, I felt like making lasagna, then, and I would make whatever people asked me to make. We started making pickled Brussels sprouts, and that was a big thing. And then I'd have people come and they want quart size instead of pint size. And, you know, we didn't even know that was a thing. It was pickled Brussels.
People eat it.
There will be live music. We know some of the top hitters in the Jacksonville, so we'll get them in here. We know a few out-of-state people, and we're going to get them in here as well. There's some bands that have people with special needs that play in the bands. We'll have them here as well. We'll have comedy nights. We'll have book readings. We'll have all kinds of things. A little bit of something for everyone. You can always up on our Facebook page. We are doing that. We're still selling the jams and jellies. We do pop-ups. So we do second Saturday. It's 11924 San Jose at the church every second Saturday. So we're there from 9 to 1 selling jams and jellies and pickles. We're going to be moving them here to the shop. So that way when we're in here, we have the doors open. People can come in here and they'll be able to shop. And they'll be able to buy cookies and things like that. And in November, they'll be able to purchase our pickles at the Jacksonville Fair, Spot and Urban Lounge on Facebook. You can always send me an email at sweetspoturban@aol.com. Instagram, we're sweetspoturban. Our website, www.sweetspoturbanlounge.com.